Good evening and welcome to another week of news with Television Tonga. In the main stories, His Majesty King Tauwha Hautabo IV commissioned a new fishing boat, and Tonga celebrates this week a memorable occasion. We'll also check out the latest Pacific stories and round up with the BBC World News. Thank you for joining us. I'm Katarina Tohi. Now the local news in detail. His Majesty King Tauwha Hautabo IV has named the two new fishing vessels donated by Reverend Dr. San Myung Moon as the Atu and Valu. The boats were donated to His Majesty as well as the youth of Tonga to enable the youth to learn about various skills of fishery. Dr. Moon donated the boats through his two international and interreligious organizations for family and world peace and unification. One of the boats, the MV Atu, was commissioned last Saturday morning at the Maysville Naval Base at Tauliki. Meanwhile, final touches and preparations are being carried out on the second boat, the MV Valu. Nansefi Fita has more on that story.
King Tauwha Hautabo IV graced the ceremony with his presence. Honourables Lupepau Tuita and Sione Ikamafana Tuita were also present, as well as some of the nobles of the realm, ministers of the crown, members of parliament and guests. The Royal Guard of Honor, led by Lieutenant Solomone Savelio and Ensign Williami Pomana, as well as the Royal Corps of Musicians, with Captain Honourable Vehala, also took part in the ceremony. President of the Free Constitutional Church of Tonga, Reverend Lucas Kalu, led the prayer before Baron Vaya delivered the opening speech. Chihiro Midorikawa represented Reverend Dr. Moon in making the welcoming address on the theme, The Path for Tonga and Humanity in the New Millennium. In Dr. Moon's message for the youth of Tonga, he wants to teach youth to live for the sake of others. His Majesty King Tauwha Hautabo IV addressed the gathering. He expressed gratitude for the assistance from Reverend Dr. Moon and his two organizations, the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification and the Interreligious and International Federation for World Peace. The Atu and the Valu will be used for training of youth on the skills of fishery. His Majesty also said the two boats will be used for emergency rescue operations, having easy access to smaller islands like Ewa, Eweiki and Atata than the government patrol boats. The boats can have in- and outboard engines which will facilitate landing in shallow waters. They can travel for a maximum distance of 400 miles before refueling and have a maximum speed of 30 miles an hour. Each can carry 8 passengers and can also transport a sick or injured person. His Majesty also acknowledged that Reverend Dr. Moon's organizations will donate a larger boat of about 50 feet to arrive in the kingdom at a later date. The program then continued with a vote of thanks by Honourable Veikune. His Majesty then cut the ribbon, marking the commission of the vessel, before Honourable Lupepau and Sione Ikamafana boarded the MV Atu for a cruise on Nuku'alofa Harbour. His Majesty, accompanied by the guests, boarded the Voya Pangai and cruised alongside the Atu. The final part of the ceremony was the royal luncheon with the entertainment. President of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Pastor Teti Paholu and Reverend Pukemaui Aipolo, head of the Assemblies of God, led the grace as well as the closing prayer respectively. Meanwhile, the Atu and the Valu will be operated by the naval base and arrange various training programs for youth. Nansefita Television Tonga News.